What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays. Here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. Before we begin this video, I would like to say thank you very much. We are officially over 300 subscribers, and we did it for my 33rd birthday. Very happy. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. But let's not stop there. Let's keep the numbers going up. By the time of the recording of this video, we are at 302 subscribers. Next goal is between 500 to 1,000 by the end of the year. So, guys, it is at the time of this recording, April 1st, 2nd-ish, something like that. Get my dates mixed up right now. So we have about 8 months to make this happen. A little bit over 8 months. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. So if you watch this video and you're new to the channel, I would like to welcome you to your daily dosage of motivational content, slice of life stuff every now and again, skate stuff, adventure stuff, whatever you want to call it. Just a fun channel to be a part of. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and make sure you hit that notification button on the bottom so that way you can stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesday content. And if you are subscribed, please make sure that you're checking out the videos and sharing. The YouTube algorithm can be a little weird sometimes. If you're not constantly viewing somebody's channel, you'll kind of they'll disappear from your personal algorithm. So yeah, all that good stuff. So this is part 2 of a series in which I like to call 33 things that I've learned in my 33 years of living. My 33rd birthday is approaching. And I decided to offer you guys some things that I've learned in my 33 years, or almost 33 years of being on this earth. So this is part 2. If you didn't watch part 1, go back, check it out first before you come to this one. Or you might want to check out this one and see if you like. I just figured we're doing numbers 12 through 22 today. So maybe it makes a little bit more sense to, you know what I'm saying, want to backtrack. But it's up to you. But anyways, we're going to start off with number 12. So these are number 12 through 22. Things that how can I say this? Things that I know in my 33 years of living, or that I've learned in my 33 years of living. So we're going to start with, we're going to start with number 12. Everything don't need to go on social media. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Everything don't need to go on social media. All right. Now, this is a lesson that took me a long time to learn. But once I learned it, oh my gosh, I'm a little congested. Once I learned it, I was good. All right. And the reason why this is so fundamentally important, it kind of leads to number 15 on the list. I'm not going to say what number 15 is just yet. But how people see you on social media. A lot of times we say, well, you know, what I post on social media ain't real life and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. But, the reality is, even if it's not real life, that is a part of your representation, that is a part of your brand. And unless you're a person who just does not care about your life, your brand is very important. When I talk about brand, I'm not just talking about, someone who's trying to have their own business, somebody who's trying to, be a content creator, someone who is trying to be famous or whatever the case may be. Your brand is personally and uniquely you. So what you put out there in the open, you got to realize that once it's out there, and it cannot be deleted. I mean, technically it can, but somebody can always screenshot. It can always go in archives. And the government always seems to have a weird way of being able to find that information even when it's so-called gone. All right? Nonetheless, want to be very careful with that. Be very mindful of what you post on social media. I know this is something that we tell our students in high school and even on the college level all the time, because when you're not careful, what ends up happening? Well, you might get denied job opportunities. You might get denied scholarship opportunities. You might get denied personal opportunities. So you just got to be very careful. I mean, I'll give you an example. It was a video I was going to post the other day. It wasn't even anything inappropriate. It was just something to add a little twist to the channel, something fun. And I decided ultimately to not post it because I realized that people might look at it a certain type of way. And I said, you know what? Because I care about my brand, I'm going to go ahead and rethink and then maybe post that at a later date. Trust me, there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to posting on this channel, but I got to wait until the time is right. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. But we'll get back to that in a few more numbers. Number 13, social media subliminals to men/women who have hurt you make you look weak. Not just weak, but I'm going to say how we used to say in the band, Hail Wildcats, Marching Proud, and good stuff. Weak with a capital W-E. And I'm going to explain why. And I'm going to be honest, I used to be that guy. When a woman would do me wrong, and I knew we followed each other on social media, I would get out of my masculine frame. Yes, I said it. I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong and when I wasn't standing on business. And I would go ahead and I would post subliminals on social media. You know what I'm saying? Hoping that they would see it. First of all, it makes you look weak because you're not going to be direct to that person. If you got something to say to that man or that woman, just say it to that man or that woman. Don't be posting subliminals about it. You know what I'm saying? If you feel some type of way, say it to their face. Or text them. Or message them. Or DM them. All right? You post subliminals on social media don't mean a lick of beans. All right? Because 9 times out of 10, I can guarantee you that person really don't care. And if they do care and they see it, it's just going to make you look weak. When somebody hurts you, regardless if you were in a relationship, situationship, whatever the case may be, don't be posting subliminals. They hurt you. Let it ride and walk away. I'm not saying you got to let that person back in your life, but you posting subliminals is really going to make you look bad. Even if they were totally in the wrong. I can't tell you how many times I've done this. It does not make you look right. You might feel good at the moment. Oh, I'm going to hurt their feelings. This and that and so on and so forth. Because that's what I was hoping to do. But here's the reality. It don't do you no good at the end of the day. It really makes you look pathetic. Yes, I said it. Pathetic with a capital P. Don't be posting subliminals on social media, y'all. To anybody. That's to people, men and women who've hurt you, to friends, ex-friends, family members, whoever. If you got something to address and it's personal, leave that junk off social media. Go be a real man. Go be a real woman. Address them in person. All right? Don't do that subliminal crap. I've done it before. That junk makes you look weak. I was mad weak for that. Mad flawed. That's something that I have not done in a long time because it's not necessary. It's stupid. Okay? Number 14. Work harder. Stop complaining. Point blank period. Work harder and stop complaining. I'm not going to say I was much of the type of person that would like do a whole bunch of complaining because of stuff that I had that would come up. But I've seen a lot of people in life, they complain. And it's like, yo, if you want something that bad enough, either you're going to put the work in to make it happen or you're just going to keep complaining. Like all this complaining stuff at the end of the day, it really ain't going to do you no good. You know what I'm saying? Like you really just got to get to a point where I want this. I'm going to work for this. How do I get it? I'm going to figure it out. Right? It's so easy to complain about so many different things. I don't like the job that I'm working at. Well, get a new job. I don't like the fact that I'm not getting, dating options the way that I would like to, right? Oh my goodness, that wasn't supposed to fall. Well, what are you going to do to change that? I don't like the fact that I'm in this rickety apartment. Okay? Save up some money so you can move to a better one, right? It's so many things that we want out of life, and we think that complaining is going to change the situation. It's not. Stop complaining and start doing what you got to do so that way you can get where you want to. Okay? Number 15 kind of ties back to number 12. Actually, I'm sorry. Well, number 12 and number 13. Perception is reality. I've talked about this on the channel before, so I'm going to make this very brief. My brother, Des Navigator, shout out to him. Innovates Music Group, IMG Records, all that good stuff. I remember he told me this some years ago. Perception is reality. What does that mean? How people perceive you is the reality. Is that necessarily true you? No. Is that fair for them to judge you as true you? No. But is that the reality? Yes. That's why I went back a couple numbers ago and I said, be careful what you post on social media. Be careful what you put out in the open in general. Because how people perceive you is the new reality. All right? Again, not saying it's fair, not saying it's right, not saying you have to allow that to define you, but that is the truth. All right? And at the end of the day, yes, somebody's always going to look at you like, this cat weird. Right? Even when you've done nothing wrong. Even when you ain't putting nothing out in the open. But don't give people unnecessary ammo. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at that. Number 16. This is a funny one, but grow them locks. Grow them locks. As you guys can see, I have my hair down. Reason being is because I'm getting a retwist in about less than 2 weeks. So typically in about a week and a half to a 2 week span, I take my style out so that way my scalp can breathe, right? My hair's gotten pretty long. I've been on my lock journey for 3.5 years. So not a long time, but a pretty decent amount of time thus far. Anybody who has been rocking with me on this channel since the very beginning, which was January 1st, 2020, I ain't have locks. I ain't have no hair. I had a shortcut. You know what I'm saying? So to see myself back then when I was seriously considering locks to where I'm at now, where I actually have locks, is pretty cool. The reason why I say grow them locks is, in a nutshell, if you really want it bad enough, that kind of goes back to, you know what I was saying, go get it. You know what I'm saying? And I finally took that step out on faith and said, you know what? I'm going to start this lock journey. And it's been fun. It's been interesting. Has not always been easy, but it has been phenomenal. Probably in a couple of videos sometime later on this month, you'll see me with my new style. What style am I going to get? I have no clue. Hopefully something cool. But shout out to Miss Alex, Empress Locks. If you live in the Central Florida area, go see her. She will get you right every single time. She's been getting me right for 3.5 years. So, yeah. Number 17, health truly is wealth. Now, I've always had the mindset to live a healthy life, to have a healthy mindset. I want to say since 2010, when I was a freshman in college, I was a freshman at Cookman. I've always had the mindset of trying to be the most healthiest version that I possibly could. I've always wanted to have a six-pack, which I haven't gotten it yet, but one day I will. I've always wanted to just be the best version of me health-wise. And the reason why that's so important is because, you know, the Bible talks about our bodies being a holy temple. Now, what does that mean? It means that our bodies are sacred, right? And not just our spiritual bodies, but our physical bodies. So we have to take care of them. Remember, we only have one earthly body. Once we depart from this earth, we no longer have an earthly body. So while we're here, take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Treat it right. And a part of treating it right is making sure you eat good. It's making sure that you are working out, right? But I'm going to take it to another level. It's also about making sure your mental is good. That's important too. People don't think about that in terms of how that has an effect on your body overall, right? Because your mental plays into the way your body functions. It's also about people you interact with. It's about soul ties that you make. It's about people that you connect with, right? All of those play a factor ultimately to your overall health. I didn't say which type of health. Y'all probably thought I was thinking about physical health. And to be honest, when I wrote that initially, I was referring to physical health. But then I sat down and thought about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to tie spiritual, emotional, and mental health to it as well. Because all of those play a factor. So the healthier version of you is a better version for everybody. All right. So make sure physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even financially, you are being as healthy as you can, because you will feel so much better about life. Number 18, focus more on your purpose and less on women. Now, I'm not going to hold you. That's something that I just recently started learning. Your purpose will never fail you. Sometimes men and women will. You will get your heart broken a lot in the dating pool these days. You won't get your heart broken focusing on your purpose. Does that mean you won't have disappointments? Of course you will. You'll have disappointments in both. But I guarantee you, and this is what I learned from my mentor, this is what I learned from my friends, this is what I learned from a lot of people that were close to me, and I'm slowly but surely starting to see that it's true. When you focus on your purpose and you focus less on women, you will notice that you will get more done. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with women. So, ladies, don't think that I'm picking on y'all. Oh, you know, he wanted them red pill guys and this and that. No, not at all. But what I am saying is, when you focus too much, or as I said in the last video, you hyper focus too much on one particular thing, it becomes an issue because you lose distraction and you get distracted from the bigger purpose. All right. And to my fellas out there, if you haven't discovered your purpose just yet, you might want to find that before you start focusing on women. And I say that because, you know, ladies ultimately want a finished product. That's just the bottom line. Or they want a vision of finished product they can kind of envision, right? Now, some of y'all might complain and say, well, that's not fair. You know, that's not right. Why they want this and that, which kind of goes back to number 14, work hard and stop complaining. That's just the reality of it. That's just a woman's nature. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. That's just what it is, right? So we have to be on our A game, and the only way you can be on your A game is focusing on your purpose, right? I'm just a firm believer that the older I get, there's certain things that you shouldn't have until you have certain things in place. Now, I get it. Some people, they might argue with me and they might be like, well, Marcus, you don't have to have it all together. I'm not saying you have to have it all together, but you need to be honest with yourself and truly know when it is the appropriate time to seek out other things outside of what is going on in your life and your purpose. And I think the best way to figure that out is, number one, seeking God. Number two, being honest with yourself. And number three, identifying what your needs are. Because there's three reasons that tie into that. Number one, if you seek God, He's going to put you in the right direction all the time. Number two, when you are honest with yourself, you can see some of the flaws in what you need to change. And then number three, once you are aware of your needs, you're not just going to be seeking out any woman. Or for my ladies, you're not going to be just allowing any man to come in your space. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Focus more on your purpose, less on women. Number 19, you are a big brother, not a parent. All right. I had to learn this lesson a couple years ago because me and my siblings, especially my younger siblings, I have 4 siblings in total. I have a little brother who's 27. I have a little sister who is 23. And I have a little twin brother and sister. They are 16 as of the recording of this video. Obviously, my little brother and sister, my twin little brother and sister, named Kyle and Kennedy. Shout out to my maggots. We are 16 and 17 years apart. A lot of times I have to remind myself that I am their big brother. You know what I'm saying? Not their parent, because sometimes I see stuff, and I think it comes from me being a teacher and working with teenagers for so long, that when I see things that are like inappropriate or I see like disrespect, I kind of go into snap mode. You know what I'm saying? Like I start snapping off like, hey, bruh, what you doing, Jit? Chill out. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the authority figure, the father figure in me, you know? But I have to remember that my job is to guide my maggots, not to yell at them, scream at them, unless they just do something completely stupid, which in that case, but you know what I'm saying. And even for my younger older little sister, 23-year-old, you know, because sometimes you look at your younger siblings and you just be like, especially when they're X amount of years apart, and you just be like, what the heck were you thinking? What the heck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But it's not my job to scold them. It's not my job to criticize them, to berate them. It's my job to simply guide them, to help them, you know, where they need to get to, and to be there for them. And that's a lesson I've long since learned. But a couple years ago, I did have a slight issue with that. But I'm glad that that's something that I learned real quick. Because it's really about the matter of know your place. You know what I'm saying? That's important. I think it's important for everybody to know their place and how they should act and things like that. Number 20, avoid dating apps. Whoo, child. I mean, I've done a couple of videos about this, so I ain't going to go too long into this. But dating apps, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just looking for fun, and I'm not advocating for dating apps, but if you're just looking for fun, I mean, okay, all right, if that's your thing, just be careful. But if you're looking for a substantial relationship, don't do dating apps, okay? Now, I know some people might argue, well, Marcus, you can find love on dating apps. I found love on dating apps. I met my wife on dating apps. I met my husband on dating apps. And you know what? God bless you. If that's what worked out for you, and you know what? God bless you and may have a smile upon you. And I, from the bottom of my heart, I'm not saying this to be funny, I genuinely wish you two nothing but the best. And I'm so grateful that you found love. But 99.9% of the time, you ain't going to find your wife or your husband on a dating app. Okay? Let me just keep it real. Now, I'm not too sure about the Christian dating apps. Maybe that's a different story. I ain't ventured in that realm, and I'm not going to. But Tinder, Bumble, Black, Plenty of Fish. You want something substantial? Go out and meet people in person. Fellas, go out and talk to the ladies in person. Ladies, Shoot your shot however you shoot your shot. And I say that because ladies be they be looking at you, stand hard, and that's how they shoot their shot. Ladies, tell me I'm lying. Go ahead. Put it in the comments below if I'm not. I think I'm telling the truth on that one. But like, oh, for real though, all jokes aside, yeah, the dating app is trash. No. 21. Start that YouTube channel early. Guys, I started my YouTube channel January of 2020. It is April of 2024 as of the recording of this video. I wish I would have either started my YouTube channel earlier, or when I did start in January of 2020, been more consistent. Because I remember when CV-19 came out and about and reared its ugly head throughout the world, a lot of YouTubers were blowing up. In fact, that was when I was discovering a lot of my now favorite YouTubers because of what was going on during that time. And, you know, we were kind of forced to stay inside because of health regulations and stuff like that. And I think about it now and I'm like, man, if I really would have been... Now, granted, if you go far, far back, because at this point I have over 500 videos on the channel, which is crazy, right? Between my shorts, my reels, and my regular videos like this. But if you go back, right, to like my first couple of videos, like, what's interesting is I wasn't consistent. Like, I was consistent for a little while. I would post every Tuesday. I could have been posting 2-3 times a week. I could have been posting for months on. I think I went through an 8-month period where I wasn't posting at all. Now, granted, at the time being, to be fair, I was going back between Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, right? I was still heavily on social media with Teachable Tuesdays. But I think if I knew back then what I know now, which is always the case for a lot of things in life, I would have completely ditched social media with my Teachable Tuesdays and really locked in on YouTube. Now, granted, I still post my, my previews on social media because I have a large following on social media, which, by the way, if you want to follow me on Instagram, follow me ACT Real MC. But, and that's ACT Real EMCEE. Just to clear it out. It's just a lot of things would have been different. Or if I would have started my YouTube channel earlier instead of doing it on social media, who knows, right? So, but it's one of those things where it's neither here or there. I think one of the things I'm very happy about right now, and I'll touch bases more on this. This is just a little bit of a side note. Looking at the subscribers that we currently have, it has doubled since last year. This time around last year, it was at 100. Now we're over 300. So we are definitely moving up. Progress is definitely being made. Consistency is really what matters. And I appreciate y'all, because at the end of the day, there would be no successful channel without y'all. And last one for the day, which is number 22. If you want something bad enough, practice. Kind of goes back to one of the other ones I was saying. If you want something, we got to work hard for it, right? When I think about that, if you want something bad enough, practice, I think about roller skating. Y'all see me post roller skate videos on the channel. By the way, Skate Life series is coming back very, very soon. Stay tuned. Yeah. The more you practice, the better you get. That's with anything in life. That's with skating. That's with other sports. That's with school, poetry, rap. I mean, the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? You name it. So, if you want something bad enough, keep practicing. You might fail 1,000,000 times. Try 1,000,001. Try 1,000,002. Eventually, it's going to stick. All right? Or at least it's going to start to stick. So those are my 11 things for the day. Join me tomorrow where we will have numbers 23 through 33. Did I say it right? 23 through 33? Hope I got numbers right. Yeah, 23 through 33. So this was fun. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys liked the video, like I said again, hit the like button, subscribe button if you're not subscribed. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, because I know this was like extra long, thank you. Really, really appreciate it. And again, some of these numbers right here, they might turn to actual full-blown topic discussions. So, again, smartest phrase from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me as always. Greatly appreciate it, and I hope you guys have an amazing